Thank you for taking a few minutes to learn how to import your transactions into Gravity. So today we're going to look at how to import a payroll file. So let's look at the file structure first. Now in Gravity we actually have a very nice mapping utility. But let's look at a file that could have come out of a payroll system. And we've set that payroll system up with specific information like our account numbers for certain types of transactions and so on. So this is a CSV file, and what you'll see here is several pieces of information. A journal ID, and that's just a transaction ID that pulls all the lines together into one journal entry. We have the entity code. This is the company that's actually paying payroll in our case, and so it'll be the main company for all the transactions. But we're allocating the items from this payroll into multiple companies. So we'll have this account here is for accrued payroll, so we'll have most of our accrued payroll be inside of enterprise, but you'll see other companies listed as we call the destination companies. So we've set up our payroll to be able to generate a destination company column based upon where people are working, which entity, so on. The account numbers that match our account numbers in Gravity, the date of the payroll, debits and credits, and a description. So very straightforward. And almost every payroll system can make a payroll file like this. We'll go to Gravity and we'll do our import options, and we'll say let's go under utilities import, and we'll say what do we want to import, and we'll say a journal entry. Now we have preset templates, and of course you can create a template, but we'll pick our payroll template. And what I'm going to do is drop the file, drag it over, and just drop it right on there. What it does is opens up to show you how we can map our individual columns. And so if you remember, we had a column called a journal ID. That's the transaction ID in Gravity and pulls everything together. We had an account number, and we're looking at the number versus the name versus however we want to define it in the payroll system. Dates, debits, credits. So we're just aligning this and saving it with a map. So when we do this, we save that map and we basically drop the file on. It confirms that the map is accurate, and then we go next and we validate everything in that file. So what happens is if there were any errors, we'll get line numbers and say, the error is maybe an account didn't exist in Gravity, or maybe a company was spelled wrong, or so on. But once we are happy with it, we'll hit import, and then the system will start to take over. Now I'll click here to open up our tool to show you the status of it. And so we can refresh this periodically to see the status. It will take for this file, which is about 180 lines or so, it will take approximately 3 minutes to import. And we can check on the progress of it whenever we want to. So it's just started. Nothing's been imported yet because we have no totals yet. And we can keep checking on that. But really what it's going to look like is this when we look at the actual journal entry as it's imported. So here we have that import. And you'll see the dates were set up, the descriptions were set up. And if we look at the distribution, now again, everything's coming out of enterprise, which is here. But you'll see here our accrued payroll, taxes, salaries, companies here that it's being distributed to. So when I actually post this record inside of Gravity, it's going to make multiple transactions for me between all of the companies here and enterprise, which again is paying payroll in this case. And we'll have the due tos and due froms automatically balanced. So a company like Epsilon can reimburse enterprise periodically for any of these intercompany types of charges. So what we've done here is import one file, distributed payroll to multiple entities, and done it all very simply once the template's set up. So thank you again for taking a few minutes to look at Gravity's import capabilities.